Hi my lovies, welcome back to my channel Beautifully Made. Today I will be sharing with you all my recent surgery experience where I had my umbilical hernia repaired, and I'm going to be very vulnerable in this video. I've never shown anyone my stomach area or anything. I've talked about it before, but never really in this type of detail. So this is a big step for me, but I wanted to go ahead and share with you in hopes that someone may take inspiration from this or get some answers if they're trying to make a decision. So what is an umbilical hernia? It's a condition in which the intestines protrude through a weak area in the abdominal muscles that's located at the belly button region. This is exactly where my umbilical hernia was located. How it looks from the outside, aesthetically speaking, it's just like a bulging lump in your abdomen area that it's not a baby in there. It looks like you're like 3 or 4 months pregnant, but the appearance is just a very bulging little ball. An umbilical hernia can be the result of another condition called diastasis recti. Diastasis recti is a condition in which the large abdominal muscles separate, and so there's like a hollow or weak spot because of that in your abdominal region. The intestines now have a little area, a weak spot to poke through, creating the bulging lump in the abdomen. This is something that I've had as well, and I still have. It was just really displeasing as far as aesthetic purposes. Whenever I put on a shirt, and it didn't necessarily have to be tight fitting, you could just see the bump. Like, it was just too big for comfort. But that wasn't really the main reason why I decided to get the surgery, although it was one of the reasons. The main reason why I decided to get the surgery was because I was having a lot of back problems. My lower back was super painful, and I had one particular incident where I had these back spasms that just rendered me useless. I was out with my kids, and I reached over to put Harlow in her car seat. So she's in the car seat, and then the car seat goes into the base in the car, and I'm swiveling to the left to put her in, and my back goes out. Like, it is the worst feeling, this spasm that just overcame me, and the sensation was so intense. I don't know how I was able to, one, put her in the car and put the stroller back in the car, but by the time I got in the car, which probably took about maybe 15 minutes for me to do this, I was out. It was very painful to drive home, and when I got home, I couldn't get out of the car. Like, I literally could not twist my torso, my core, to get out of the car. It was that painful. So I ended up having to call my sister-in-law to come help me get the kids out of the car, because one, there was no way I was getting out of the car without assistance, and there definitely wasn't any way I was lifting any child out of the car. So Trey was at work at this time, and he was in a meeting, so he had his phone off, and I was just so thankful that my sister-in-law was close by and able to come and help me, because that was just the last straw where I was like, okay, you know, I'm going to go ahead and get this surgery. I don't like the idea of surgery because I've never had it before, but this is crazy, and it can only get worse from this in my view. And I want to be able to live life and, you know, comfortably, and rest assured that I'm not going to put more harm on my body by my own doing. So I just, you know, made a decision then that, yep, I'm going to get the surgery just for my health and for my physical safety, and just for the flexibility to be able to just do the things that I need to do day to day. Another reason why I decided to have the surgery to repair the umbilical hernia is because it won't go away on its own. Like, no matter what you do, you can't naturally make it go away or cure it. The only way that it will go away is by having surgery. And if it's left untreated, over time it can become painful. Now, my hernia itself never became painful. There were side effects that were painful for me, but the hernia, the region by the umbilical area, never became painful, but it can. My mom actually had an umbilical hernia removed, and it was years after her pregnancies that she had it removed, and she had it removed because it became very painful for her. So I didn't want to get to that stage. Also, there's a risk whenever you're being active and exercising with an umbilical hernia of strangulation. A portion of your intestine may become trapped in the abdominal wall, and if the entrapped intestines don't get enough blood flow, strangulation occurs, creating life-threatening possibilities. The fact that I knew that I was going to start exercising and exercising more regularly, using weights and everything, I didn't want to aggravate my umbilical hernia and potentially cause this problem, which is a rare condition, but still it's something that's possible, and that didn't sit well with me. Now, the last reason that I decided to get the surgery is sort of a humorous one. My son is very observing, and he's very curious. He's always asking questions and noticing everything. And so he noticed my belly. So he lifted up his shirt and looked at his belly, and then he saw mine, and his reaction was hysterical. And then my belly was stretching really, really big. And then when she came out, it looked like this.
Aww, why?
Because my belly, it stretched really far, and now it's a little saggy.
Boy, you was too much.
Yep, so I set the date. I finally set the date after months. It took me about 6 months to finally set the date after I made up my mind that I was going to get the surgery, and I had the surgery in November of 2018. I was very nervous about the surgery because I never had surgery before, period, ever. And so the idea of being placed under anesthesia and just not being awake and being under the knife and everything that you see on TV, I was just really unsure and just not knowing what to expect. On the table, I had a great doctor who had great bedside manners, and I just had uncontrollable tears as, you know, he's holding my hand and I'm counting down, and then I'll eventually fall asleep. When I woke up, it was probably the best sleep I've ever had. I have to be honest. And it was just within about 45 minutes, that's how long the surgery took. I was up. I could feel, you know, that they had been messing around down there. So mesh was placed to cover the separation and to help prevent the intestines from poking through the weak area in my abdominal muscles. I have realistic goals when dealing with this. I know that it's not going to necessarily fix my belly, aesthetically speaking, with all of the stretching and everything that's involved, but I believe that there is some difference in the appearance of my belly, and just the protruding part of it is just, it's lessened. I still have a little bit more healing to go. The incision was done right in my belly button, so you can't even see any incision or any type of evidence that they cut anywhere. That part I like a lot. And every day, or almost every day, especially on the days that I'm doing lifting and working with Harlow and Dash here alone without Trey's help, I wear a belly band. And I'll show you guys my belly band. So this is the belly band that I wear. I can't remember where I got it from. Maybe like Ross or TJ Maxx or something like that. Yeah, so this belly band, it does not fix or repair my diastasis recti in any way, because I still have that, although the umbilical hernia is repaired. It just helps with support. It helps protect my core when I'm lifting, when I'm bending, when I'm twisting, and it just makes me feel more secure. My core is still very weak, and I have a lot to do as far as strengthening it through exercise. There are some times where it can look a little bulky under clothing, so I do have to be mindful about what I wear, and that can be kind of a drag, but at the end of the day, I have to do what's best for me physically, and so I just kind of suck it up. Now, I do plan on exercising since I've had my umbilical hernia repaired, and doing a little bit more strenuous activities as far as lifting heavier weights, working out more often. But because of my diastasis recti, I still can't do certain movements like crunches, planks, anything that jackknifes your body. I can't really do because it aggravates the diastasis recti and can actually make it worse and can make the separation of the muscles even wider. So I definitely don't want to do that. Yep, so that is pretty much everything about my surgery experience and the reason why I decided to have it done. My future plans for my belly area: one, I do want to start exercising more regularly, and two, after I've done a certain amount of time exercising, I want to give myself at least 6 months of just regular exercising 3 to 5 days a week. Then I will consider another surgery, having another surgery, and that surgery would be to repair my diastasis recti. The diastasis recti can't be fully recovered or repaired without having surgery, and surgery in the form of like a tummy tuck, for instance. You can do exercises to help close the gap or the separation of the muscles, but they will never ever go back to how they were pre-pregnancy. And I have a pretty severe gap because, again, I got it after I had Dash, and then the gap intensified after I had Harlow. So I want to see how much I can close the gap just with regular exercise and techniques and movements focused for that solution. But ultimately, I do think I'm going to have another surgery to get a tummy tuck to bring it back as tight as I possibly can and repair it. And I will share with you guys the timeline for that. I'm not sure if that would be this year. If so, it would be definitely later on in the year, possibly around November timeframe again. I'm thankful that I have reached that point in my journey where I feel comfortable enough to share with you all and not feel embarrassed because of the way my stomach looks. I mean, it's a privilege to bring 2 beautiful, healthy babies in this world, and for my body to be their place of rest and growth. And I'm really thankful and in awe of what the body can do and how resilient the body is despite all of the aesthetic things that happen. And I encourage you to embrace your body. And you know what? I'm starting to dislike the term mom bod, because what is a mom bod? I mean, mom bods, all mom bods look different. So I don't think that there's like one category for a mom bod. You know, it's just, there are some mothers who look the exact same, even better after having children. And is that a mom bod? I don't know. But I wanted to share this experience with you because I feel like it's okay to want to better yourself. And if that involves surgery with making yourself look a certain way that you'd like after you've done this beautiful, wonderful miracle, then go for it. And I don't think that you should be body shamed or that you should feel guilty about making a decision like that. I know a lot of emphasis is placed on, oh girl, you know, your body just had a baby, just, you know, do your exercising and let that be that. Don't try to alter it. And it's like, no, you do you. You do what you want to do is best for you, because it's your body at the end of the day. They don't have to live with it, and they don't have to look at it when you're naked, and they don't have to, you know, worry about how it's going to fit in certain outfits or any of that. They don't know what your back situation is and how you can't get up in the middle of the night without turning to the side, like all of that type of stuff. Like, they don't know. So you do you, and I'm just encouraging you to do that. Whatever your plans are and your goals are for your body in this year, then make it happen and own it for yourself. That's it. I'm off the soapbox for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and that you were able to get any inspiration or information about umbilical hernia repair to help make your decision. All right, so I love you much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. Mwah.